It's Ferrari F430 time on the channel. It's first drive time, but before that, this video is once again brought to you with Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform for entrepreneurs to stand out and succeed online. Whether you're just starting out or managing a growing brand, Squarespace makes it easy to create a beautiful website, engage with the audience, and sell anything from products to content to time, all in one place, all on your terms. They further improve their offering, and there's loads of new things available to go and take advantage of using that code below. You'll save money on your first website using that link below, using that code, so make sure you bookmark that. Even if you're not using it now, you'll save money on your first website. So something I've not talked about before, Squarespace actually uses design intelligence. Using the power of AI enables you to create a stunning website exactly as you need it using the power of AI. You really got to go and have a little go on it on Squarespace to fully understand how powerful this tool is. It's absolutely incredible. It's mind-blowing. For those running their website as a commercial entity as well, you've got Squarespace Payments. Squarespace Payments is the easy way to manage your payments in one place. Onboarding is fast and simple. Just get started in a few clicks and start receiving payments right away. Plus, give your customers more ways to pay with their popular payment methods as well. These include Klarna and others. So you can actually take client bookings now as well with Acuity scheduling. That's a new feature that I wanted to talk about and I haven't actually mentioned before. You can do invoicing through your site. There's SEO tools, and you can also sell content. This is a massive one. Loads of people selling courses, webinars, all of that stuff. You can sell that through your site with ease on Squarespace. So as always, keep me posted with what you create, as many of you do. Save that bookmark. If you're not ready yet, make sure you save it for when you are. For now then, let's jump in the 430 and hit the intro. Hello, welcome back to TGTV, and more specifically, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my Ferrari F430. It's first time drive today on the channel. It's first drive, that's what I meant to say. First drive on the channel today, and I'm bringing you my latest addition to the collection. I filmed about 5 minutes ago on my reveal video with this, and also a new watch video as well, all at the same time, which is slightly curious. So it's all go on the channel at the moment. I'm getting to that last bit of the month once again. Maybe this will make May, but I've got a load of sponsors to get out. So here we are then. What is it like to drive a 20-year-old Ferrari? I can't believe this thing is 20 years old now. It's absolutely bonkers. I did go through the rationale as to how I ended up, nearly stalled it and ended up in the side of a Volvo there. I did go into why I bought this car in the reveal video. Basically, a follower of mine, very cool chap. I'm not going to mention him by name because I don't think he's an internet numpty like me. But he reached out after I said I wanted one of these, and he said, TG, I've got one. Do you want it? He reached out and he said, TG, I've got one of these things. Do you want it? And I said, yes. Yes, I definitely do, sir. Thank you very much. We'll have one of those. Quick recap then why I bought it. I wanted something a bit more modern Ferrari-wise as opposed to my 1958 250. I wanted something manual. I wanted something V8. And I wanted something Pininfarina as well. The manual and the Pininfarina thing, they go together. You can't get a manual car that isn't. I also wanted something rare. I wanted something that's going to hold its value. I wanted something that's potentially actually undervalued and should be a lot more cash. And enter the Ferrari F430 manual coupe that I've just bought. So it's a 2005 car, and one of only about 120 to 140 right-hand drive manual F430s ever made. That's split between coupes and spiders. Again, I've been through this in the last video, so I'm not going to harp on too much. I think these are very, very undervalued. There's about half the numbers of these than there are even 430 Scuderias that are right-hand drive. So a very, very rare car within quite a big run of F430s, about 17,000 worldwide. I think for me, this car represents kind of peak drivable Ferrari, particularly in the UK. It's sub 500 brake horsepower, it's naturally aspirated, it's got Pininfarina design. The V8 is right behind your head there. You've got some aids and electronics and kind of things to make your life a little bit better, but not so many that it makes the whole thing sterile nonsense. Ferrari are putting out good cars these days. They're still making amazing cars, but I think it's beyond what I really need. The 296 is amazing, But when I drove it, I just thought, this is just too much car. It's ridiculous. It's a hell of a lot of money. I don't know long term where they're going to be. Well, I think I know where they're going to be. And I just thought, you know what? I love the way that these look. I think these look absolutely incredible. I think they're looking better by the day, as is common with Pininfarina designs. They just age so well. They're quite forward thinking, and when they come out, people aren't so sure. But this could be a brand new car. The design is still absolutely amazing. So I'll shut up then, telling you things you already know. What is it like to drive then? You sit in here and does it feel like a 20-year-old turd box Ferrari? No, it doesn't actually. It doesn't feel 20 years old. It feels very, very solid. It's not creaky or rattly. This here Ferrari were very, very well made. It was a successor to the 360 and basically just a 360 with a new shell and a few performance tweaks. So actually, the 360 as a development car then went into this car, and that's why these 430s are known as being pretty bulletproof and pretty bloody solid, both build quality wise and also engine wise. They are known as pretty reliable cars. Driving position is great. You don't feel like it's a conversion like you do in a lot of older Ferraris. Certainly my Testarossa felt that way. This feels like it was actually designed to be a right-hand drive car. Obviously not true. The position of the steering wheel, position of the pedals. The pedals are actually very close together. I was trying to drive in my Crocs earlier and I had to go home and change my shoes because the pedals are really, really close together. But the steering wheel's got a really nice amount of weight to it. Very direct, not quite as darty as something like an F12. The front end doesn't feel nearly as kind of direct and aggressive as the F12 does. It doesn't feel so scary at the rear end either. It feels a little bit more planted and a little less death-defying than the F12. Compliance on the road is fantastic. I mean, this road surface is awful. And we're getting bumped around a little bit, but it's not so bad at all. It's soaking up the bumps very, very nicely. Ground clearance is absolutely fine. We haven't had any grounding out at all. No nose lift in this car. I'm not 100% sure if it's an option, potentially. Just another thing to break. But I don't think you actually need it. I've used it a few times now. Haven't been close to needing it. The technology in here is awful. It's got a double DIN head unit that's been put in, but it is useless. I'm going to have to swap that out because I love CarPlay. The hi-fi is abysmal. The visibility is actually pretty good because we've got that glass screen at the back. And it's quite a small car as well. It's about 4.5 meters long, so not a big car on the scheme of things. Modern Ferraris are absolutely enormous these days. It's well under 2 meters wide as well, which is absolutely crucial, particularly for roads like this and the Cotswolds and all this kind of stuff. You don't want a 2 meter wide car with a massive long bonnet. It's got a very short overhang at the front, so you feel in control and actually you know what's going on, rather than something like the SLS, which actually is quite boaty, 2 meters wide, and you're steering via the all gauge a lot of the time. But we haven't touched on the main thing yet. It's that noise. The noise is absolutely phenomenal, partly down to the fact there's a very thin piece of glass behind me there through into that naturally aspirated V8 engine, and partly down to the fact Ferrari just do not make a bad V8. And actually what's strange is this is about 3 years on that I did my first drive of my Testarossa down this particular road. Rosso car, Crema seats, manual gated box, and I'm back with something that actually is tickling my pickle a lot more than the Testarossa did. The sound in the Testarossa, and I don't mean to drag the car, it's a good car, but the sound in the Testarossa just wasn't there. It didn't feel nimble at all. It felt like a bit of a boat. The driving position compared to this felt like you were kind of just sitting on the floor stirring metallic soup. It just wasn't really the engaging and visceral experience that I really wanted. I didn't feel hugely connected to the car. I felt that I was kind of just along for a ride and, you know, just being kind of dragged along, actually. There wasn't really any engine braking either. When you came off the accelerator in that car, it kind of just pulled you along still. You never really got a sense of knowing what was going on with the revs or any of that kind of stuff. Now that's not hugely fair on the Testarossa. The Testarossa was a 1986 car. This is a 2005 car, so it's not completely fair to slag it. The Testarossa was designed as a cruiser. This is obviously designed as a out-and-out sports car, supercar. The Testarossa, it's obviously 12 cylinder, this is a 8 cylinder, so why I'm comparing the two is only because I've had both and driven them both down this piece of road. And I sold the Testarossa, I got rid of it. It wasn't what I was after, it was something that I wanted to scratch the itch, but actually the driving experience for me kind of let me down a little bit. It's one of those ones where you shouldn't meet your heroes. If I had a bigger house and had a kind of an art feature and I was able to put the Testarossa as a piece of art in the middle of the house, I would have kept it. But I've spent all my money on cars and my house does not have the space to accommodate a Ferrari in the middle of it. Maybe one day. So, should you buy one of these? Now, I'm going to do what I always do on this channel, as I tell everyone to buy anything that I've bought. I tell everyone to buy one, pump the values up, and hey presto, it doesn't take a genius to work out what I'm doing with that. But actually, I do think if you can find a sensibly priced one of these cars, it's actually not a bad place to be. The maintenance on them, as I say, isn't that scary. There's quite a lot of decent upgrades now available for them as well. Things like the ball joints do go on them. The standard factory units are pretty expensive and pretty appalling, but you can get things like ball joints from Hill Engineering, I think, that improve it all massively, tighten it all up, and I can feel the car does feel a little bit baggy. So this car will be going to Joe Macari. I'll be ordering in some parts and seeing what we can do on that front. I will be uprating the hi-fi, putting CarPlay in here because I'm a chav, I love doing that stuff. But I do think these represent very, very good value for money. And if you look at what a manual 599 is, they're what, 450 grand? And if you look what a manual one of these is, there's none of these on the market. There is not one single coupe at the point of filming. There's not one single manual coupe on the market. A nice manual Spider 120, 130. I think they're a great place to put money. I really do. There's so many specialists now that work on these cars, so many aftermarket upgrades. They're not that scary, certainly a lot less scary than being in a 296 in 20 years time. I mean, can you imagine what on earth's going to happen to those cars? They're all going to go into landfill, surely. Now, if you're a track day guy, don't buy one of these. This isn't a track car. You wouldn't buy one of these for going around a track. Just buy a Porsche GT product with a PDK gearbox. That's all you need to do. Any GT3 with a PDK gearbox, absolutely fantastic. Go and buy one of those for track use. This is not that. This is B roads. This is very definitely a road car. And on the numbers front as well, finance on these, as I touched on in my previous video, super cheap comparatively, because the residual values on these are super solid. Lenders like Ferrari, Charles and Dean, are super competitive with Ferrari, and they got me it cheaper than even Ferrari finance could, which is wild. So if you are looking at one of these, the thing to do is just ping in a quote. Just send the link to the guys at Charles and Dean to say, oi, how much is this? I mean, be politer than that. How much is this? 10, 20% down like I usually do. What is it looking like a month? I think you'll be very, very surprised. This is under £1,000 a month, which obviously is a lot of money, but I'm in a Ferrari and it's cash. And the reason those residuals are so good is because I think these kind of young timers now are going to come into their own more and more and more. I think guys my age and a little bit younger than me, this is what they grew up looking at. These are the cars that they grew up wanting. And not only that, you can't buy manual Ferraris anymore. They're talking about bringing back a manual gearbox to their Icona range, partly down to Lewis Hamilton banging on about manual gearboxes. But they're not bringing manual gearboxes back to their mass production cars. They're not bringing naturally aspirated V8s back to their production cars, as far as I know. Pininfarina, as far as I know, aren't coming back. So you really are buying into an era that is never going to happen again, and is extremely popular, and actually made Ferrari what it is today. What should you be paying for a manual coupe? I don't really know. I would say a Minter, maybe 150, thereabouts. One with a few miles on, like mine. Mine's done around 30k, just over 30k. Maybe 120, 130. It really is hard to tell. There are Gen 1 and Gen 2 cars in the 430s as well. This is a Gen 1 car, 2004, 2005 are the Gen 1 cars. I think maybe 2006, 7, there was a slight alteration, a slight aesthetic tweak, and you're into the Gen 2 cars. It wasn't something that really bothered me. You can get ceramics on these cars. This has steel brakes. They are actually fantastic. They don't really need warming up. They work out of the box. They've got lots of progression, lots of modulation. They're actually very, very good brakes, and that's one of the things I'm actually quite surprised by. Slightly older Italian cars, not always known for their brakes, and I've not driven a car with the ceramics. My gut feeling would be probably better when warmed up, but maybe like the old Lambo ceramic brakes, if they're cold, look out in front of you because you will go into the back. Even Aventador ceramics, actually, when they're cold, they actually just don't work. They are terrifying. You could get these with bucket seats. You can obviously get it with carbon interior like this one's got, but who really cares about that sort of stuff? I do think, as with the older Ferraris, the quirkier specs will do better over time. Colours do make cars. This is obviously resale spec. A very, very safe bet. Sorry, I actually can't behave in this. The acceleration is just so linear. There's just so much response. And once you get over about 4,000 or so revs, the valves open out the back. This is completely standard. No exhaust, none of that jazz. And actually, I don't think I'm going to meddle around with the exhaust. I'm going to leave it alone. Anyway, first drive done then. Just a little flavour of this car. I will be doing some events and whatnot in it, so do stay tuned for that. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Do subscribe, blah, blah, blah. And I will see you all very soon. Ciao.